Yeah, thank you for tuning in. It's your friend, and before I start this video, I would like to put in a quick, important announcement. Right now, I'm going through a certain phase in my life, and it's translating into basically everywhere in my existence. What I'm pretty much trying to say is I'm changing my name on YouTube. I will no longer go by the name of Jay Loves You Too, and I will now be going by the name of Master of Earth. So all my videos following this one will be I will be known as Master of Earth, and I just wanted to put that in there. So thank you so much for all those that have still been here with me in my YouTube journey. I thank you so much, and basically that's all I want you to know. My new name will be Master of Earth. Thank you. Okay, so let's get on. So the first thing I'd like to speak about is dreams. We all dream, don't we? Every night that we sleep, we dream, or do we dream? Some people don't dream. That's too bad. But most of the time, every time that we sleep, there's a good chance that that individual leaves their body. And I want to talk about this. Basically, dreams is a form of technology that souls or living things use to basically experiment with the future and to experiment with possibilities that currently don't exist in our time as of yet. Every night that we sleep, every night that we dream, what happens? Basically, our souls, or basically our astral bodies or our energy bodies, move at an accelerated pace. How fast are we talking about? We're basically talking about potentially faster than light itself. Every night that you dream, you do enter a state of accelerated time, and within this state of existence, you are moving faster than anything you could possibly imagine. And the reason behind this fast accelerated time is because we use dreams as a form of technology. We use dreams as a form of studying the future. Basically, every night that we sleep, we basically go to school. We basically explore infinite possibilities. We experiment on thoughts, we experiment on ideas, we experiment on potential futures, and we basically do this every night so that we remain on track on what is best for the planet, and it also allows us to create the best version of the future on the planet. Every night that we sleep, that's basically what happens. You basically travel to infinity. You basically travel to the source of all things, and there is basically play. Your soul basically is unlimited, and your soul is basically free to basically experience anything. And we use dreams mainly as a way of experimenting and also as a way of learning things so that we can then bring that data, that information back to Earth. Okay. Now, these various places that we travel to when we dream is basically dictated by how we fall asleep. The type of information that you will bring back from the dream world, the type of information that you will be exposed to on your travel, is all determined on how you fall asleep. More specifically, on how you fall asleep that determines where you go to is the kind of thoughts that you entertain before you fall asleep. The kind of thoughts that you entertain before you fall asleep determines the location you will travel to, or the kind of information you will attract to yourself in the dream world. And the thing that you need to be aware of is that we use dreams as a form of technology to acquire information, to gain information. And the thing about it is, if we're not sleeping properly, what happens? We're basically attracting information that might or might not be of use to us. And most of the time, we basically transport ourselves to a place in the dream world that has nothing to do with us because of the kind of unnatural thoughts we have before we go to sleep. Before we go to sleep, people think about TV shows that they just finished watching. They think about the future. They think about their acquaintances. They think about all types of things. And what happens? These thoughts take you to their source. The source of the thoughts that you entertain before you sleep, that's where you go. You go to the source of those thoughts, and that's where you learn. That's where you spend the time in the dream world. And it's important that you understand this, because you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste that opportunity of gaining information to travel somewhere and to get information that might not have anything to do with you. And there is basically a safety measure that everybody uses to make sure that when we dream, we travel to a place where we can acquire information that's best for us. This guarantee, this safety measure that we all have, is what is known as our higher self, our doubles. And this version of ourselves exists in the future, and this version of ourselves always have access to the information that our bodies need at the moment. So when we sleep, we need to understand that we always travel to the source of our thoughts that we entertain before we sleep. And the best way of making sure you use the dream world to obtain the right information for you, the right information that you need, is by connecting with your higher self before you sleep, so that when you do sleep, you travel to your higher self to obtain information from him or her. Now, the best way to connect with your higher self before you dream, because remember, where you go in the dream world to learn, where you go to obtain information, is all determined by the way you sleep. It's all determined by the thoughts you entertain before you sleep. The best way in attracting your higher self, the best way of attracting yourself to his information, to his knowing, to his wisdom, is when you sleep. You need to see yourself as a newborn baby. You need to understand that it is not your job to plan the future. It is not your job to think about the future. It is not your job, because it's not your job to basically associate yourself with anything based on the future. The best way to attract your higher self, your double, is before you sleep, empty your mind. Don't think about the next day. Instead, thank your higher self for all the things that he did the present day. Thank him for everything, even the most smallest thing that will usually go unnoticed. Thank him or her, and give your higher self the permission to work his all-knowing wisdom on you for your future. Put the future in his hands. Let your higher self's will be made, so your higher self knows what's best for you. Give the future to your higher self and don't worry about it. Just sleep. and most likely you will attract your higher self, and that's where you will get your information from. A good way of knowing whether if you had an interchange with your higher self, a good way of knowing that it was a successful download, the information you got, is the following morning upon rising up from sleep. You should feel a feeling of well-being, of rejuvenation, a feeling of happiness, a feeling of joy and satisfaction. These are good indicators that your body downloaded good information that will be of use to it. So when you wake up, if you notice that when you wake up you're feeling not at ease, you're not feeling up, you're not feeling basically good, you feel down, you're starting your day feeling sad, you're starting your day feeling basically dim, then that is a good indicator that you're not sleeping properly, and wherever you're going in the dream world to learn, you're basically going to a detrimental place, and it's best that you realign yourself with positive patterns, you realign yourself with the better way of falling asleep. So let me basically give you some information and some insight into the nature of your double, into the nature of your higher self. Plato said this, a famous philosopher, and basically every living thing has its own place in the stars. Basically, what I'm saying is that every individual living has a star. You watching this video right now, you see the sun you see in the sky? The sun that gives life to the whole solar system? You yourself, that's who you are. You're your own sun somewhere in the galaxy. And right now, in order for you to incarnate here, you had to split from your divine nature, from who you really are, to come here to basically have a helping hand in bringing in a particular future on this planet. Right now you exist in the galaxy as your own particular sun, and don't be scared, don't feel any way because you're here, because at all times you're always connected to who you truly are. At all times you're always connected to this star I speak about. And just imagine when you're sleeping, a sun with all the information, with all the infinite information a sun has. Imagine such an entity coming down and basically being downloaded into your body, feeding information into your body. That's what you want when you go to sleep. That's the main goal of dreaming. The main goal of dreaming is attracting your individual star into your body to feed the information your body needs for the following day. And the information you get from your higher self and from your double is basically one of a kind, because your higher self is the only person aware of your true mission on earth. Your higher self is the only person aware of what is it that you need to do with your life on earth. So the best person to connect with to keep you on track on your journey is your higher self. So it's very important that you sleep properly, and just remember who you are. You're a star in the sky, and when you die, you know what I'm saying, when you leave this planet, you will reconnect with who you are. You will reconnect with this star. So okay man, I got that out the way. Now for the main part of this video, I need y'all to understand that right now you're basically being used in bringing a particular future on this planet. You are basically playing an active role in the creation of new life on the planet. You are a co-creator. You are bringing in the future, and you need to understand how exactly is it being done. Right now on the planet, futures and basically experiences are being updated. You can be a vessel of updating a particular future anybody can be a vessel at updating a particular future at any given time. The main technology being used on the planet at updating futures is the use of thoughts. Basically, when we sleep at night, when we dream, the information that we receive the following day comes in different forms. It comes in the form of intuition. It comes in the form of mood, how you're feeling the next day. It comes in the form of random urges to do things. You might get a random urge to jog. You might get a random urge to start a new diet. All these things are indicator of the information you have received from the dream world. And the main technology we use to update the future is by use of thoughts. Thoughts are very powerful. One thought can get you to basically build a house. One thought can basically get you to start a new diet. One thought can basically get you to quit your job. Thoughts are very powerful, and basically your higher self gears you with everything you need to have the right thoughts the next day. And basically you don't have to worry about your thoughts. All you need to understand is that at all times your higher self is connected to you, and at all times your higher self will guide you to the right thoughts and the right actions. So don't worry about that. The real thing to worry about is the part that you play in this creation of the future, which is what I'm going to talk about now. The future is updated through our thoughts. And the best aid you can give your higher self, the best aid you can give planet Earth, the best aid you can give humanity, the best way to help humanity in bringing about the best future is this simple technique. You need to understand that thoughts is basically the technology that we use in updating the future on this planet. And you need to understand basically what you are and what I am. We are all the same person. We are all from the same mind. My thoughts are connected to your thoughts. Your thoughts are connected to your neighbor's thoughts. Your neighbor's thoughts are connected to everybody. Everybody's basically connected to the same mind, and thoughts travel. The best guideline in making sure that you are helping the earth update the best future possible is not to think of doing to others what you wouldn't want others to think of doing to you. In my first video, I made a mistake. I said not to do to others the thing you don't want them to do to you. But of course, everybody does that. Of course you wouldn't kill somebody because you don't want them to kill you. But by you thinking of killing somebody, even though you don't kill that person, that thought will still be in existence, and anybody on a similar wavelength of that thought will then update that thought and might end up killing somebody. And you will be responsible for it because you was the one that updated that future in the first place. You was the one that updated that thought and made it easier for it to be experienced on the planet. We need to understand that that is the key, guys. The key is our thoughts. Stop thinking of doing wrong to others. Don't think of doing anything wrong to others so that it will be harder for those type of futures to be updated on the planet. Stop worrying about people. Don't worry about people's circumstances, because believe it or not, you are making it easier for the things you're worrying about to be updated into the planet. That is the power of thoughts. Thoughts are basically neutral. It's not good or bad. It just exists. If I create a thought potential, that thought, all it wants to do is just to be updated. It wants to take life. It wants to experience. It wants to live. So you need to take responsibility as a co-creator, as a god, in the type of thoughts you entertain. A good guideline, once again, is not to think of doing what you wouldn't want others to think of doing to you. If you're in hard times, would you want people making the situation worse by thinking about how you can't supply for yourself or how you can't pay rent? These things will make it easier for that kind of future to be updated on the planet. So the main focus of this video is to know that the future is basically the responsibility of your higher self. Your only responsibility right now, your real job is to always supervise your thoughts and making sure that you only entertain good thoughts. If somebody's going through struggle, don't think about their struggle. Instead, give them love, give them positive vibes, give them good energy. Stop thinking about things. Stop worrying about things. Don't worry about anything. The future is not for you to worry about. And always entertain good thoughts. By you doing that, you are sending these good thoughts into the central mind, and it will be easier for these thoughts to be updated here on Earth. So that's how it goes on, guys. Every night that we dream, we travel to infinity to learn, to study. We bring back the information. The information we bring back comes in the form of many things. It comes in the form of sensations, urges, intuitions, and all these things that we get from the dream world power up our thoughts for the next day, and these thoughts are what are used to update the future to the planet. You'd be surprised. Maybe by you sleeping, you woke up the next day and you had an urge to start a new diet, or you had an urge to basically take a risk and do something you never thought about doing. This is the science of dreaming, and that's what happens when you dream. You download information to your body to better equip you for the following day. So take responsibility of the future of the planet. You are a co-creator. You are a god, and just take this with you, okay? Thank you for watching, Master of Earth. I love you guys. Thank you.